Hi, I'm Liv. I feel like this is like a monthly occurrence right now. I was just redoing my book cart. I'm going to be doing my February book cart. This is going to be sorting out my TBR for February and just adding some books into down here for things that I could potentially dip into in February, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to get round to them. I've got quite a few books on my bed right now of things that I have not got round to reading yet. Some of them I've got in mind of things that I really want to put on my TBR. I've got some more here, and I've got loads of books that I'm interested in, but I don't know if I'll get to them this month. First of all, got a romance. So this one's by Mia Sheridan, and I really like Mia Sheridan's writing. It's called Stinger, and it's I'm guessing a spicy romance. So this one is about a guy called Carson Stinger and a girl called Grace Hamilton. So she's very much like a driven girl who has goals, and she knows what she wants in life. And then you've got Carson, who is an adult entertainment person. So he's in the spicy industry. And so they end up having a one-night stand together in Las Vegas. I think that with their two worlds they come from, she's a very like cookie cutter world. He is a very much like spicy, you know, that kind of world. They think they're not really going to be destined for each other. So I'm excited for this one. Because it's February, romance season, I'm just thinking it might be a good romance to read. Okay, the next one is another romance that I've got. And this one I'm actually halfway through. I started reading this like last year at some point, and I don't know what it was. I just got in a book slump and I just didn't carry it on. So this one's The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I got this ages ago and I really, really wanted to carry it on, but I don't know what stopped me. I was enjoying it. I just feel like it got a bit stagnant, and so I just stopped at page 177. I'm already halfway through. So because romance season, I'm thinking I may as well just try and finish it and really get through it. So this one is about two people. For once, the cartoon cover, I actually really do like the look of the guy for once. I remember this book quite a bit. So this one's about a girl called Cassie. Cassie is she used to do OnlyFans basically back in the day, and she doesn't do it anymore, but she's looking at either having to go back to that or trying to get a new job because she's just lost her job. She becomes a live-in nanny for someone called Aiden. So Aiden is a single dad, and he is somebody that kind of has the hots for Cassie, and Cassie has the hots for him. However, and I think that's pretty much what happened just as when I finished reading this book, Cassie discovers that Aiden is not a stranger. He used to be someone who watched her content, and he knows every inch of her, and she is thinking, oh my god, I'm working for a guy who has seen everything of me. He obviously has to tell him the truth and everything, and they've also got like their spark in real life, and she's like, oh my god, is this gonna ruin everything? I did like the kid in this book as well. He's a single dad, as I said, and sometimes kids aren't written the best, but she's written really good in this book and I am enjoying it. I just don't know why I stopped reading it, but I'm gonna continue this. Next, I have a hardback, and this is by Emily Henry. It's probably the last Emily Henry book I'm gonna read because I'm not a big fan of her writing, but it's a romance, so I may as well try it out in this month. This is Funny Story. So this one was like really hyped up last year and some people really enjoyed it. So this one is about a girl called Daphne. Daphne ends up with a guy called Miles. So Daphne's person that she was initially with ends up falling for somebody else who's his best mate, and she is also engaged to somebody, and Daphne was engaged to somebody. And so Daphne and Miles, which is the person that this is so hard to explain. Daphne's partner gets with another girl, and that girl's partner gets with Daphne. They have to live together basically because one of them ends up not having a home, the other person's like needs a roommate, they're not living with each other in really bad circumstances, and they are posting pictures of things making it look like they're together to try and make their exes jealous. And yeah, it's kind of like fake dating and stuff. I think that as the wedding or something, and they take each other to the wedding as like dates, and everyone's like, oh my god, you two are together? Like, that's crazy, the circumstances. It just looked interesting, and I wanted to give Emily Henry one last go before I completely like stop reading her books, because her other books haven't been my favourite. I liked Beach Read, but I really didn't like Happy Place, so yeah. I actually think I might put this down here as like a potential read, but we shall see. If I don't end up reading it, I will put it on my Vinted. I sell loads of books on my Vinted, so I'll link it down below. Next, I have another romance by Mia Sheridan, and this is Falling for Gage. This is the third book in the Archer's Voice trilogy, and I liked the other two books. I liked Archer's Voice was my favourite, and I loved Travis as well. So this one is about Gage. Gage was in both the other books, and the female main characters did end up getting with Gage for a little bit, like a tiniest smidgen of time, and he never actually ended up getting with either of them properly, and he's never really had love. He's always in flings, but not love. Meets someone called Aurora, and she spends a night with him, and they end up stuck in each other's paths and they can't get away from each other. Close proximity, like, but also like they've had a one-night stand, so they know each other, and it's just very awkward. I just thought it'd be good, and I like Mia Sheridan's writing. I think it's very good. I just enjoy her romances. I've just realised I've got 3 historical fictions also this month. That might be it's going to be a very depressing month. The first book I've got that's a historical fiction is White Chrysanthemum, and this one is a book that I don't see anyone speak about, and I really wanted to read it. So this one is about a girl called Hannah and Emmy. They are part of a island community, and it's in Korea. And one day Hannah sees a Japanese soldier heading for where Emmy is guarding the day's catch on the beach. She saves her sister, and Hannah herself is captured and forced to become a comfort woman in a Japanese military brothel. Moving between Hannah in 1943 and Emmy as an elderly woman today, White Chrysanthemum sheds light on a devastating history and how sisterhood endures through the evils of war. So this one's about like just after World War II, or was like around World War II, and I just wanted to do a historical fiction and one that's like about like a topic I've not really looked into, and that's Japan and Korea. So yes, I thought it would be an interesting one. It's got a thriller. So this one is The Defense, I'm thinking. So this one's by Steve Kavanagh, and I'm really wanting to read this one. I wanted to read it last month, but I never got around to it. So this one is about a guy who vowed never to go back in the courtroom, and he ends up having to defend a member of like this mafia type group, and they have done the crime they've been charged with or accused of, and he has to make it so they don't go down for it because they have got his daughter. See, little plot twist there. It's a first book in a series. Like there's these on the back. There's The Plea, The Liar, 13, Twisted. There's one about like 2 sisters, which the reason I ended up getting this is because I found a book and it's about 2 sisters. One of them, they're both saying that each other did the crime, and that was like the 5th book or something in this series. So I was like, oh, well, I need to start the series, so that's why I got this. I really want to read it. I feel like I want like a mystery thriller, like I want something a bit different. I think this is my last romance of the month that I've picked. So this one is The Love of My Afterlife. This one I found, and I just found it looked so up my alley. So this one is about a girl called Delphi. Delphi has died and she's met the one in the afterlife, but devastated to hear that a mix-up means that he is immediately sent back to Earth. Delphi is given a second chance and accepts a deal in which she can return to her previous life in London and reconnect with the mysterious stranger she's sure is her soulmate. The challenge, she only has 10 days to find him. 10 days to make him fall for her. Oh, and he has no recollection of them ever having met. So he has no idea who she is, and she's got to make him fall in love with her. I just thought that would be such a cute little romance, and hopefully it won't break me too much. Hopefully it's going to be a nice one. So I just wanted to read it, and the cover always makes me want to pick this up. I mean, look, so pretty, but I never have actually read it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the month I'm going to read this book. Right, we have quite a few historical fictions now. So the first one I've got is The Lilac Girls, and this one is quite a thick book, and this one is set around 3 girls. So these 3 girls all live separate lives, but they find their world colliding in tragic circumstance. So this is set in World War II, and there's a New York socialite called Caroline Faraday, and she keeps her post at the French consulate, but her privileged life is turned upside down when her lover suddenly suspiciously disappears. In Germany, there is Herta Oberherser. I'm really sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. She's desperate to bring work as a to begin work as a doctor. Only upon starting her new job does she discover the true extent of the horrifying role. And then we have a Polish teenager called Kasia Kuzmarek, who has been pulled deeper into the underground resistance movement. One false move could have dire consequences. The women are drawn together when Kasia is sent to Ravensbrück, the notorious Nazi concentration camp for women, where Herta now works. In this merciless new life, Cassia's only hope is survival. So it says at the bottom, as the women's lives continue to intersect over continents and decades, will they manage to seek justice for the Ravensbrück victims that history has forgotten? So this is a topic I've looked into before. I think I've mentioned this before. This is an area in history that I am very well versed in, and I love reading historical fictions. This book's got a very nice flop, just wanted to point that out. But I really want to read this. I know it's going to be a really hard read, but I am getting used to reading historical fictions now. I've recently read The Nightingale, and I feel like there was another one. Oh, The Book Thief. And then recently I read, what was it called? All the Broken Places. So I've read those 3 so far that are all historical fictions, and this will be another one that I'm hopefully going to read. It's just I'm really nervous for it, so I need to bite the bullet and just start it at some point. So I will be doing that this month. Fingers crossed, hopefully I can just do it. This is the Wartime Book Club, and this one is set in 1943, again World War II, and it's about a German army invades Tranquil Island, and the librarian Grace Lamotte is determined to keep her services running. Ordered to destroy books which threaten the Nazi regime, she refuses, instead hiding them away and fighting back by forming a book club, a lifetime to help islanders escape the terror of war. One chapter at a time. But soon Grace's quiet acts of bravery become even more perilous. She's harbouring dangerous secrets, ones that put her life in danger, and when tensions turn to violence, she is forced to face the true terrible costs of resistance. So this one's also based on a true story. It's a historical fiction. I'm very excited for this. I got it for £2.50 in the works, and it's quite a thick book as well. And I really, something about the front really got me. It caught my attention, and then I read the back and I was like, okay, I need to read this clearly. So that is another pick. I'm very excited for that one. And also, I can't believe it's £2.50. And £2.50 just because it's cheaper does not mean it's going to be a bad book. I got Portrait of a Thief for £2.50, and I think I got All the Broken Places for £4. So those are cheaper books, and they were great. I loved both of them. The last book I've got for definite for books that I want to read in February is Child of the Ruins. So this one is set just after the war, and in this one it's Berlin. World War II has ended and there is supposed to be peace. Russian troops have closed all access to the city. Roads, railway lines and waterways are blocked, and 2 million people are trapped, relying on airlifts for food, water and medicine to survive. The sharp eyes of the Russian state police watch everything, and no one can be trusted. Anna and Ingrid are both searching for answers and revenge in the messy aftermath of war. They understand that survival comes only by knowing what to trade: food, medicine, heirlooms, secrets. Both are living in the shadows of a city where the line between right and wrong has become dangerously blurred. But they cannot give up the search for a lost child. So again, historical fiction. I just thought the fact that there's a child that's lost and they're trying to find them so badly in a time in which it's the aftermath of a horrendous time in history, I just thought that'd be an interesting perspective. And I've never read anything by this author before. She's called Kate Furnivall. Kate Furnivall. So I would like to read it. And again, the picture really got my attention. I don't know why. Again, it's just the picture really got me. Those are all my picks for February. Very happy with them. There's not loads, but I feel like, again, I think I've said this a million times, I am going on quality over quantity this year. Definitely 1000% want quality. I'm not just going to be running through as many books as I can, not enjoying them, because that is pointless. I'm going to be going through books that I really really think are going to be great books, which is why I'm on the fence with the Emily Henry one. I don't really want to waste my time if I'm not going to enjoy it. So if I start reading the first few pages and I'm not feeling it, I will give it away to somebody or just sell it or give it to one of my friends. But yeah, I want to do quality, and these books are all books that I'm really excited for. I'd say that the ones I'm most excited for are probably The Defense. I'm really excited for this book, and I've never read anything by Steve Kavanagh. I really want to broaden my authors this year as well, really read some stuff I've never heard of before. So I've never heard anything about this book. I'm very excited for The Lilac Girls. The reason I keep calling it The Lilac Girls, by the way, not The Lilac Girls of Ravensbrück, is because it depends where you're getting the book from, but a lot of places just call it The Lilac Girls, which is why I keep saying that by accident. That one and The Defense, and actually I'd say White Chrysanthemum I'm also very excited for, but very nervous. Let's fill in this bottom shelf real quick with some books that I have not read before. I've got 3 piles of books I've not read, and I'm going to decide a few that I'm going to put on the bottom shelf for things that I could potentially pick up if I'm wanting something a bit different. I'm going to put down One Day by David Nichols. This one is meant to be, oh, I threw it, it's an accident. This one is meant to be set in 1988, and Emma and Dexter meet for the first time on the night of their graduation. Tomorrow they must go their separate ways. So where will they be this one day next year, and the year after that, and every year that follows? So some of the pages are letters, and then some of them are just straight up like chapters that are just regular chapters, and it's one day every year. I think it's for like 20 years, 2 people. It's the same day every year for 20 years to see where they are in life. Apparently it's a hit and miss book, like some people love it, some people hate it, and I just, when you hear that, you just want to try it then. I've also gonna put in The Fear. This one's by Charlie Higson. It's a book in a series that I've not finished yet, and I'm really adamant I want to finish it this year. It's zombies and it's set in London, so this one. The zombie books hit so much harder when it's like a rainy, gloomy day. It actually feels like a dystopian world in the UK. You know what's dystopian? The fact that TikTok has completely been banned in America. Like, oh my god, today is the day it's completely gone, and it's a quiet app. It's a real quiet app. There's like nobody really that's on it that is that doing lives or anything. Loads of the videos, obviously all the videos are from everywhere else in the world, and you'd be surprised at how quiet my For You page is. Like, there's no one dancing on it or anything. There's no videos of like any Americans, because obviously they're gone, but it's such a weird thing that's happened, because you're used to the Americans being on there so much, and now they're just completely gone. I feel like Assistant to the Villain is a good one. I've explained this before, so I'm not going to explain it again, but this one does give me Horrible Histories vibes. Is it just me? I don't know. I'm also going to put a Kristen Hanna book on here. This is Firefly Lane, and this one people say is really good. It's a book on friendship of these 2 girls that meet and become best friends and everything, and then a moment of betrayal happens, and it's like, will their relationship survive or not? And it's a book following like 30 years. Yeah, I'm very excited. I like those types of books though. I've got 2 books here that I've not read yet, and I don't think I want to put them on my book cart yet. So the ones here that I've also got are Ruin and Rising, which is the last book in the Shadow and Bone series, but I just don't feel like I'm in the vibe, like in the mood to read that yet. And also The Dead Romantics, which again, I don't know why I feel like I'm not in the mood for it, but to me it feels like an autumn book just from the cover. None of the other books really feel like books that I want to read yet. I mean, I've got some like Christmas related books over there, and I've got like Let's Split Up, which gives like Halloween vibes because it's like murder mystery kind of giving Scooby-Doo. I'm gonna put these, no, I'm gonna put them back on my shelf. I'm not just gonna fill the space. I think I'm done with my shelf now. I know there's not many books in the bottom shelf, but I kind of want it that way. I just want to have it just with the books I want to read. Quality over quantity this year. That is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Go check out my other videos I've done, and subscribe, like, and do all that stuff. Click the bell notification to be notified every single time I upload, and I'll see you guys pretty soon. Tell me down below your February TBR, and yeah.